Some of my greatest lessons are when I really screw up. And I had a situation with someone where they were doing something that bothered me. And at the beginning, it just bothered me mildly, and I didn't say anything. And then it happened again, it bothered me a little bit more. And then it happened again, it bothered me more. And I found some reason not to say anything. I said something, but it was very softly. Hey, could you not do that? And slowly over time, this energy that I held within kind of compounded, grew, and manifested and increased and built pressure up, where this situation or this thing this person was doing continued to bother me and grow. And finally, it happened where it happened again, and I just lost my cool. And not that I went yelling and screaming or anything like that, but that was it. I was really, really annoyed. And I went into a state, an elevated state, where I wasn't calm, relaxed, and rational. Once your emotions take over, crazy, crazy things happen. You say things that you shouldn't say or you don't mean, and things can get heated. And I think part of the biggest cause of this is that we don't release the steam. One, because we take the short-term gain of not avoiding confrontation or avoiding dealing with the issue at the long-term pain of creating inner turmoil or an inner pressure cooker. And I think with these people that, that snap at the post office or snap at school and do all these crazy things is the pressure has just built up so much and there's no release or no escape, and they feel like they're powerless. And they lose their cool. Or you see it in sports. I saw this was a racing Daytona or one of those things where this old 64-year-old guy punched another driver, and that situation just had been brewing within him. Or some people, they have so much turmoil within them that the slightest thing can spark it, and they'll erupt like a volcano. And so now I'm trying to be much more conscious and aware of nipping things in the bud, of catching myself, the pressure cooker or the steam to start build, and allow a release for it. Now maybe sometimes you can't, if it's a boss and you feel like you can't confront the boss, going out and exercising, punching a bag or whatever, going out for a walk, screaming, whatever it is to release the steam. But I think that is a huge problem and also slowly kills us. It's very destructive to the body to hold that in, to hold that pressure and that steam within and not having a release. Now everybody has their own different release. But what I found, the outcome is much more successful if the pressure doesn't build up too greatly. So my interaction with the other person, the pressure had just grown and it was just too immense where I couldn't calmly and rationally handle the situation, and the discussion got heated and things didn't go as I planned. But had I, when it first started, addressed the issue and I wasn't really bugged and not bothered about it slightly, it would have gone completely different. And sometimes people need, if you're trying to wake someone up, they need a bucket of water splashed, or they need a slight jab to the nose to wake them up, to let them know, hey, you're serious, what they're doing is bothering you, and you'd like them to correct the situation. And so the first time I said something to this person, and oh yeah, okay, I won't do that. And then it continued, and I should have followed it up with something a little bit stronger. And I think the feeling of powerlessness is crippling and really debilitating in our ability to enjoy life or to alleviate stress. When you feel like you're powerless, it's that stress that really builds up. So some of the techniques is, one, in a calm, rational manner, talking to the person, pulling them aside. Like one of my bosses I had a little bit of issue with, and in private we discussed it, and he didn't agree, and things continued as they were. But then it was on me to accept the situation for what it was. But I felt a lot better after clearing things up and bringing things out in the open. And hopefully he felt better as well, and then we can move on. So the point of this video is really let's practice improving our communication skills and nipping things in the bud, talking things out, and in a calm, rational manner before all our emotions get tied up. And it's really refreshing, and sometimes it's even helpful just to ask for permission from the person, so they kind of open the door for you to talk to them. So if you're having an issue with someone and you say, hey, is it okay if in our communications that we're completely, totally honest with each other? That if something's bothering you, you tell me, and vice versa. Whenever I have roommates, the first day I'll bring this up and make them feel comfortable that they could come and talk to me about anything if I'm doing something that bothers them. Because most of us are conditioned not to do that. What we generally do is take that frustration and complain to somebody that is incapable of fixing the situation. So we gossip, we talk negatively about the person, and these are all destructive things, especially when it gets back to the other person. And it takes a lot of courage, and I admire people that could come and talk to me and tell me something that is bothering them. And oftentimes that's just my greatest learning experiences. But when the groundwork is set from the get-go and you just have an agreement, it really, I think, puts the other person's defenses down. What you want to try to avoid is putting the other person on defense. You did this, and you're that, and you could just the old psychology of using I and me language. You know, it hurts me when this happens. It makes me sad, or it makes me disappointed, or it makes me feel like you don't like me or appreciate me when you do this. Is really a successful strategy and goes a long way to building deeper relationships, because a lot of our relationships are superficial because we don't communicate openly and honestly with other people.